As we celebrate 14 years of podcasting, here's another memorable moment from the Adam Carolla Show's Ace Awards archives.
I think the other interesting topic is the whole Prince debacle.
Yeah.
And from the standpoint, when he went to the emergency room, they had to stop the flight.
How about your debacle debacle? How about the Dr. Bruce debacle?
Now, for some new memorable moments, let's get back to the Adam Carolla Show.
Pete Holmes in the studio.
Holmes.
His Netflix special, I'm Not For Everyone, is excellent. You'll love it. And I think you'll see another side to Pete that maybe you hadn't experienced in the past.
Yeah. Coming into myself.
Yes.
Getting a little bit more comfortable. I saw a video, I was telling you, I watched my presents and I was like, this guy doesn't know who the fuck he is. I liked the bits.
Wait, I'm sorry.
When I watched my Comedy Central Presents from 14 years ago.
Your
Remember
presents.
Nate?
Yes.
And then I watched my presents. I watched his and I was like, wanted to watch mine. And I liked all the jokes, but I was like, I'm kind of doing Ace Ventura.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing a lot of like, please don't be mad. There's a lot of, it's just kind of restrained. And it's nice to grow up and hear your own voice and not be afraid. We're back to that. Don't be afraid.
Yeah, well, also, everybody, hopefully matures as a comedian, and then you look back on your old stuff and you always wince. That's just a part of life. It's just fine.
It helped me understand. Oh, sorry.
But you come from a place that had a bunch of stuff that you needed to undo.
Yeah.
Some people, like myself, I didn't come from a place where I had to undo things. I was always sort of just floating around untethered. So I never have that version of myself where I used to think this and I had to purge these beliefs and these thoughts from me. And that's what I can see with you.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
And but you need to stop right where you're at.
Yeah.
Because 20 years from now, you're going to be a fucking train wreck.
Oh, of course.
Covered with tats.
Insane. I was like, I could have used some rules.
Strung out on K.
Isn't that funny? That is what people think is going to happen. And you do have to do these things gradually. It's like when I look at the me that was doing my Comedy Central Presents 14 years ago, I'm like, that is essential. You got to do that. You can't jump to the 25th chapter or the 70th chapter of your book. And I don't bemoan it or regret it,
Well, it's like when I did a show in Austin not too long ago, I was like, Austin, this is great. You got the sort of the best of Texas with the best of, San Francisco or Portland or Los Angeles, but stop right here.
Yeah,
don't
pause.
fucking keep going, because I've seen how it ends up, and it's not good.
Spot.
It's fucking hobos shitting in the street, people stabbing each other with syringes. Like, good, keep it weird, fine, but fucking stop here.
That's very.
And that's what I'd say to you, Pete.
Yeah,
Rock it off.
I'm going to stop
right here.
I'll stop at Austin.
Stop
just
at
shy
Austin.
of downtown.
Don't keep going.
Yeah, sure.
All right, what do you got, Chris?
Oh, so you're talking about how Jewish people and gay people, they've gentrified the towns that they've inhabited. So there's also another person, MrBeast. He's doing that as well. So he went to Kenya. He went to Africa. He went to Kenya, Somalia, Uganda, Zimbabwe, and he provided clean drinking water for up to 500,000 people by building 100 wells in Africa. And of course, also in addition to that, he updated a local school with new computers, furniture, books, donated a soccer ball to every student, replaced their old chalkboards with whiteboards and projectors. Now, this is a YouTuber, 207 million subscribers. He's the most followed individual creator on YouTube. And the reason he's in the news now is because before he announced that he did this, he said, hey, I made a new video. It's probably going to get me canceled. People aren't going to like it. Because every time he does things like this, people get upset or criticize him because he's just doing it for the likes. He's doing it for the clout. He's doing it for the clicks. And so, in fact, there's a Kenyan politician who said that him donating all the wells perpetuated the stereotype that Africa is dependent on handouts and philanthropic intervention.
Yeah.
So there's
blame Bob Geldof too, because didn't he do We Are the World there, and Christmas in Africa? I mean, remember Bob Geldof, and do they know it's Christmas time at all? I mean, that shit goes back 40 years.
No, I remember.
So Blame Bob.
I
That's
remember
what
they
I
had,
would
that
say.
same, they had that same issue with Tom's shoes, right? Like it's like every pair of shoes you get.
Oh, yeah,
they donate
a pair.
And then somebody, I think it was always with a thanks, but what's better is to empower these people to make their own shoes or whatever it might be. So these are more long-term solutions. So I'm not an expert on this, but there could be a flash concern. But I mean, that sounds like a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and also
hot take.
Kenyon Mayor, shut the fuck up because he's only there because you guys don't have potable water. So fuck right off.
Nice job.
But all right.
Potable
so we're
water.
okay, Mr.
Thank you.
Beast.
I've
Just
been
keep.
saying potable. Don't get.
I don't know if it's
coffee on an
potable or
airplane.
potable.
It's portable.
It's portable.
Whatever it is, it's portable. You seen these water bottles? Gotta have one for the car, gotta have one for the house. This is more waste in the end. Woke Seinfeld.
Dawes, is it potable or potable?
It's potable.
That's what I
Nice.
thought. All right.
Is this a podcast? There's your memorable moment. I want in the reels.
You made the
play
cut,
that
my
one.
friend. Yeah. Yeah, everything is shame-based now. If they had their shit together, then MrBeast wouldn't have to go over there and dig for water. But okay.
Isn't it fun thinking like we're in the history, in the pantheon of all the people who've done these great things? You have like Mother Teresa, Gandhi, and then Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast.
Yeah,
Mr.
Beast.
He's going to be up there too. But we all like it.
Yeah.
You have to, it's funny, like everything, at a certain point, you have to just concede that there are ulterior motives in most things. Like I'm being nice to you because that makes me feel like a nice person. And then hopefully you'll be nice to me. So there is a little bit of a kill or be killed game at all times. And yet it's still beautiful to be kind. You know what I mean? So like,
Well-
I'll take it even if you're pretending to be nice, I'll take it. It's a start.
Yeah.
Well, you build a library and put your fucking name on it, and then people go, he only built a library so he could put his name on it. Right. All right, but kids have books, and they can go somewhere.
And all those books have some dude's name on it.
Yeah.
That's right. So there you
Or
go.
a woman.
That's right.
These books. Sorry, I'm trying to find a way to bring them back.
Speaking of like your evolution, Pete, we talked about this yesterday, but so The Simpsons announced that Homer's going to stop choking Bart. I know you wrote for The Simpsons.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, so what are
they're going to stop choking Bart?
He's going to stop choking Bart.
That seems right.
You-
I remember, look, I get it, but early Simpsons was sort of parodying something that I don't think we know we're parodying anymore. Itchy and Scratchy, I would argue, is sort of like lost its watermark. Meaning, if you grew up with Tom and Jerry, you understand Itchy and Scratchy. If you didn't, you're like, why did that mouse just disembowel that cat?
Yeah.
So in the same way, it would be more fun if I was like, that's ridiculous, let him choke him. But yeah, I can, as a huge Simpsons fan, I can still say, that's fine. That sounds right.
I think Murphy Brown was a funnier series, but okay.
Why? There was a porno called Murphy's Brown. Does that mean her butt? Because buttholes aren't brown.
Yeah, but
Give that a Google. Safe search off.
They do. I've heard the term brown eye.
Brown eye.
Brown eye.
Yeah, it's a pink eye. But that's
Yeah.
a disease.
Yeah.
If you lick the pink eye, you get you lick the brown eye, you get pink eye. Aye, Captain.
Let me tell you
Here
something
comes the
about
semen.
porn set
'Cause they're on a
etiquette.
boat.
You don't want to throw around pink eye on the set.
No.
You know what I mean? Even if it's a working title.
You're going to get it.
Yeah.
You're going to get it.
Yeah.
It's just a hazard.
It's going to happen. So People Magazine just named their Sexiest Man Alive.
Oh, my God. I didn't get the text.
Yeah. Well, that's why we brought you here.
Oh, good.
Do you know who it is?
I did because I
Okay.
saw it unveiled on Kimmel
It was,
last
yes.
night, and I actually was talking to McDreamy over the weekend, not this weekend, a couple of weekends ago, because he was down at Ren's Sport because he's the big Porsche guy.
Right.
And
Is McDreamy Kimmel?
McDreamy Kimmel.
Is that who that is?
Patrick
No,
Dempsey.
Patrick Dempsey,
is
sorry.
this year's Sexiest Man Alive.
Sorry.
AKA McDreamy.
That's not McConaughey?
No,
That's
it's
57 years old.
Yeah, so he's a car guy. I'm a car guy. He's kind of a Porsche guy. It's Porsche. We end up at some of the same races
It's
or
Porsche.
events. Oh, yes. Oh, no, it's Porsche.
Porsche.
It's
right?
Posh. Potable water Posh.
So we spoke a little bit, but he did not see this coming.
You know what? I always it doesn't break my heart, but this is a man whose PR team. There's a lot of sexy, and then the PR, and they work it out.
They say they vote. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what the I don't know.
Why
what
are you
the
throwing
criteria is.
shade at my Porsche buddy?
I'm just saying. Don't you find it weird that the Sexiest Man Alive always has something to promote? Do you think
What does
does
he have
old
to-
Dempsey have something to promote? Other than those cheekbones?
I don't I don't know. But
Well, when you get into the lesser ones, the runners up,
Right.
they all have a project.
Well, his PR team's terrible because I don't know what he has to promote.
they got to do a top 10. I want to know who he beat out. That's how the argument starts.
Me,
you know what I mean?
you,
yeah.
Chris.
Right.
Obviously.
That we
Yeah.
would have been all together because on our own we don't.
You know
look
what
that
I think?
great.
Forget about the top 10. I
Forget
want them to go back into about 30,000. You know, I want them to keep going until they get to Danny DeVito. You know what I mean? And
Give me the DeVito list.
I want it just to go all the way down. So
I would love
Pete,
that.
you could be like 2,271.
Yeah.
You know what
This
I mean?
is my only chance.
And then you could get super angry at the guys that were above you.
And
And
there's
then
just some pharmacist
and people that were
Dakotas.
Well, this be celebrities.
Oh, only Lebs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, but we would keep going, and then there'd be people underneath you who are outraged
Somebody
that you
did that
beat
as a
them out.
gag. There was like a website years ago that was like the top 500 stand-up comedians or something. Mm-hmm. It was like a joke. Mm-hmm. But I would look and see where I was. I was in the deep 300s or something. But that was the joke. Is it's like this
Right.
is stupid. And
But on the looks list,
Yeah.
you know, Jim Brewer would be underneath you going, "What the fuck?
yeah,
I pull more tail than that pussy."
that sounds like him.
So other people in the issue just named like for their own categories too. Jason Kelsey.
Yeah, but he has a category. Best bear.
Who's Jason Kelsey?
Travis.
See,
I guess
you'd
Travis.
laugh. You'd
Travis
laugh
Kelce's
if you.
brothers.
You'd laugh if you.
Yeah,
if you knew
saw
what he
him.
looked like.
Yeah.
Google it, then laugh later. That's what I
Yes.
like to say.
James Marsden, Chris Hemsworth. Sexiest athlete was it's Travis Kelsey.
Where's T. Cruz
But then
on
Jason
this
Kelsey's
list?
in
Where's
it too.
Brad Pitt on this list? Because it's alive.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx, Usher, Lenny Kravitz. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there are a lot of people to beat out.
Yeah. Well, good for Patrick. He's a good guy. Probably enjoys it a little bit,
Too much.
but he's mainly into cars
Yeah.
and a nice guy.
All right.
Yeah, and he used to live down the hill from me. Nice.
Yeah.
Dempsey.
You guys have a history.
Yeah, and also guys that were too skinny when they were like in their 20s are perfect now in their 50s.
Chalamet's now.
Yeah.
Oh, Chalamet's in it too.
Of course.
Yeah.
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 I don't. There's some. Oh, I don't like him because he goes by Timothy
Timothy.
or Timothy.
2 E's at the end.
Potable.
Yeah.
Timothy Potable Chalamet.
He bothers me, but I don't know why.
I know.
Do you have a
Because
list?
his parents gave him a name that says, "I bet you're going to be magnificent," and then he was, and they're like, "Told you." They didn't name him Gordon.
Yeah.
But show me Gordon Chalamet.
Do you have a list of people you just know in advance you wouldn't get along with? You could be right or wrong, but he's on my list.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I thought of a couple names, but I was like, I think that person's sick. That's
Gary
really what just
Busey.
happened. Well, yeah, it's interesting. There's certain people exempt from this conversation because they might be ill.
Okay.
But yeah, scary people.
All right.
So
Patrick Sexy.
So there's a story that actually came to light in the last month or so. LA Times reported it. This tenant from hell, right? So this woman stays over at an Airbnb at this Brentwood mansion, like the guest house, and she's only going to stay there for like 180 days. It was a pretty long term Airbnb.
That's a long Airbnb.
Yeah.
And get this, OJ kills his wife. So this lady's like, I was stoned in the back.
Right, but so she's living there. She ends up not paying the guy for the Airbnb. It gets reported that she ends up reporting that he had unpermitted showers in there, and so she ends up using squatters' rights to stay there. And this guy's like, she's not paying. I can't kick her out. Now they start suing each other for reasons about like I deserve to be here and she doesn't deserve to be there. Whatever.
I'm going to try this with an Uber.
Yeah, never leave.
This is my car.
Yeah.
Prove it's not.
Yeah, force majeure. Take me somewhere.
Sorry. Yeah, I live here now.
Yeah.
You know what? Go ahead.
Oh, so she's been there for nearly 2 years without paying rent, and she has finally moved out.
Respect.
You know, I don't know if I should have this conversation with my kids or not, but at this point in our society, I would just be like, you're a fucking idiot if you play by the rules. Like, you're just an idiot. Like, if you're paying for
Quality
razor
parenting.
cartridges at a Save-On, you're a fucking idiot. Just walk in there and take them and walk out. No one will do anything. If you want to squat an apartment, like,
very
you're
funny.
not. I mean, I had a warehouse in Burbank once. I mean, here's literally. Why buy a laptop? Why not just steal a laptop from somebody's car? Because when the person gets their laptop stolen, they call the cops. The cops just go, "Yeah, we're not doing anything about that." Like you're actually kind of an idiot to
not
follow the
steal?
fucking rules. I had a warehouse in Burbank years and years and years ago, and I like leased it out to somebody, and of course the guy didn't pay his rent, and X amount of months went by, and the guy owed me $50,000. And when he finally moved out, I like said to the realtor, the person that did the deal, I was like, that guy owes me $50,000. And the answer is, I was like, yeah, you're not going to get that money. Like, you're going to spend more on legal fees than it's worth, and he's an empty bag, and you're going to be chasing him. So just keep walking. And I'm just saying, like, why are we paying rent?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why are you insuring your car? Like, you're the fucking idiot.
Yeah, if you stop paying your mortgage, real talk, you stop paying your mortgage. At no point does like a muscly guy come with brass knuckles and be like, "Hey, Mr. Carolla, it's time to take a walk." That never happens.
Yeah, that's how B of A works.
Talk a walk. They just keep bothering you.
Well, it's going to end up on my score. You know, it'll hurt my FICO score. And also, once you get into the system, you're kind of in.
I see, but
Never
if you're
never enter the system.
This is the clip for your children.
What-
Enter and steal a lot.
You could pay taxes and you could do all that shit, but that's a fool's errand.
The cheaters are doing pretty well.
In Los Angeles, especially. Look, don't open a restaurant. You'll have to pull 1,000 permits. There'll be health codes and everything. Just park your Winnebago on the curb in front of the restaurant and
100%
serve chili con carne. Serve it right out of that.
Con carne.
You won't have to pay taxes. You don't need any permits. There's no health inspectors, and everyone will leave you alone.
Yeah, isn't the narrative then like you'll always live like on the run? You have to look around your show like Leonardo DiCaprio and Catch Me If You Can.
Well, I don't know. Like, do people, when you go to the SoFi Stadium and there's people spread out all front selling Modelo beers and shots of tequila and soft tacos, are they living on the run? Because there's cops standing 5 feet from
Eating
where
the
they're
tacos,
doing it,
yeah.
eating the tacos. I'm just saying, as long as we're going full Sodom and Gomorrah, why are you wearing a condom?
It's
Right.
interesting. We're in Pompeii. Take off the bag.
That's right.
That's interesting. I was just watching. Did you watch The Lost Leonardo, the movie about it's a documentary about this painting that was allegedly Leonardo's lost painting. There's a lot of speculation whether or not it was the real thing. But what happened was...
Is that, what's that on, by the way?
I bought it on Apple TV, so I downloaded it. It's like $4 though. And it's really good. Mm-hmm. So they
You're
sell
a fool
it.
to pay that $4. You should have just fucking
I
put it
know.
like that.
I do the good boy thing, and they sell it for $85 million to this guy. Nobody wanted it because they couldn't authenticate it, and it was restored. That's the issue. Is they're like, some people are saying 85% of the painting was restored. So
Right.
that means someone's painting over it.
Right.
And there's all this hype, and it's a great story about how people want to believe, like they want it. Talk about meaning making. They want this to be an exciting thing. So they finally find this guy, I think he was in Russia, who buys it for $85 million. They wanted $200 million. He goes, "I'll give you 85." Nobody else wanted it because it wasn't authenticated.
They Baha'd him down.
That is.
They're going to start saying that.
I'm going to omit my laugh.
gonna start.
I want to also verbally acknowledge that it happened and that
laugh.
that was, see, there it's clapping. Okay, so there's $85 million. This guy buys it for 85. He sells it the same day because now that it's been bought for 85, this value is imposed upon it. Like it's already been bought for 85. He
Yeah.
sold it the same day for 127.
Wow.
Same day.
Yeah.
So what's interesting about that, and going back to what you say about stealing laptops, and again, what I think is at the core of it, is that capitalism is sort of inherently unfair. It favors cheating. It is cheating. What I'm saying is that guy is praised for having made whatever that is, $40, $50 million in a day. The more down-to-earth example of this, and what I find very funny, is you watch Shark Tank, and they're like, I have this glass, and it says the Adam Carolla Show on it. And they go, how much do you charge for it? I go, $19.95. Then Mr. Wonderful goes, how much does it cost to make? And he goes, 7 cents. Mr. Wonderful, and we're the fucking idiots that are going to buy it. I'm on my phone looking it up to buy it, and I know the markup. I can't even calculate the percentage. It's like so many times exponentially more. And then Mr. Wonderful goes, if we do it in China, it'll be 3 cents.
Right.
So we know that, and we're so, it's like fish going, what is water? We're so indoctrinated in the system that it's good. It's good. We go, well, they thought of putting the logo on the glass. There was sweat equity. They had the idea, and we reward it. And then we happily, $19.95 also sounds like the right price for a novelty pint glass, even though we know it's worth 7 cents. But we don't, if you read the book Tribe, very interesting book, talks about how we're tribal animals. And the worst thing you could do in a tribe was steal, was eat more than you should, take or withhold from the elderly, from the women, whatever, the sick. You would be stoned to death. Like publicly, everyone would just murder you and you'd move on. And now we live in a world, watch The Big Short. It's one of my favorite movies. I think Adam McKay is one of the best directors ever. The Big Short's incredible, and it's celebrating people who figured out how to cheat the cheaters by cheating. Not cheating, but like, let's be real. This is like gaming a broken system. So there's something really, when you're at home watching and they go, this light up book cost me 4 cents to make and we charge $59.95 for it. We should be, if we weren't insane, going, why? But we're really going, I hope they get the deal. I hope they're a billionaire. Because you're like, when it's my turn to sell the light up book, my ticket will come in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of what the market will bear, person.
I get it.
And, when
My dad always said if it was worth it to you, it was a good price. Because my dad collects old cars like you. He sometimes would be accused of overpaying for some Porsche or something. And he's like, if it was worth it to me, it was a fair price. And I'm like, that was an interesting lesson to me. And it's true. And I'll actually go even further and say, sometimes I catch myself, especially since I've made more money in my life. You go on Amazon, there's 2 options. You buy the more expensive one. Because we've been taught that's statusy. That's better. The Android might be better. Fuck you. I want to have the same phone as Angelina Jolie. You know what I mean? So we're in a gumbo and we don't even know it.
All right. We're fish and we don't know it.
Well, the gumbo is a fish gumbo. So the metaphor actually.
Okay.
Turns out it wasn't water. It was a broth and it was slowly heating. But I'm with you. So these are the other sides. It's like, look at other Bono. I'm always talking to Bono. He won't stop texting me. He actually made the point, he's like, people think I'm anti-capitalism, but actually I think what you should do in a lot of impoverished places is introduce capitalism, because it does really well at a lot of things. So this sort of looking the other way on the $19.95 for the 5-cent glass does produce wealth, which distributes. This is all that.
Well, motivates people.
Dude, we talk. And then you charge money for it. So I'm in the system as well. You know what I mean? And
Right.
It's a wonderful
You're
thing.
not getting paid today, but I understand the metaphor.
I'm sorry?
No pay for the appearance.
For the show, though, for being on the show.
No,
This is
No, it's not like one of those, SAG minimum things, or like when you do the Tonight Show or something.
This doesn't help my
$533.
insurance? 'Cause I
No,
need-
this is just, you get to promote whatever you're pushing.
Patrick Dempsey's The Sexiest Man Alive. That's what I'm here to promote. I thought I was making at least $37 today.
No, but we'll break something off for Patrick because we did use his name a few times.
He needs it.
he's great. Yeah.
Speaking of the aforementioned Bruce and now Caitlyn Jenner, I did talk to Caitlyn. Caitlyn called me, I guess, and each time I would say, would you want to come on the podcast? Caitlyn's old school. Caitlyn's like, yeah, what's the pay?
Wow.
And I'm like, there's no pay.
Yeah, for that one, you could just be like, yeah, it's the standard.
Yeah.
You
standard.
could.
Just,
Look,
I'll
if
give
you
you the
can
Pete
let a
Holmes
guy
rate.
walk with $50K from your garage, you can give Caitlyn Jenner $10,000.
That could break off a piece.
Yeah. The ads
Yeah.
on that one, these boys will be out there going, the CPMs
Yeah.
through the roof. You shitting me? Call her right now and say $10,000 $10,000.
Yeah.
That's it. Mm-hmm. What are we doing?
You're right.
I do think it's funny, like when Elon Musk does Rogan and stuff, because that would be worth a lot of money if you could negotiate that.
Yeah. Pat McAfee was paying Aaron Rodgers
That's right.
to come on.
Aaron Rodgers did mine. Didn't pay him.
See, there you go. Pat's
Didn't
a
pay
fool. All right, sorry. What else do
You
you
say
have?
that's a fool.
No, Pat's a fool.
Oh, yeah.
He paid Aaron Rodgers $1 million,
Yeah, no, he did it for free.
but it worked. He did you for free.
He did me for free because it's one of the finest podcasts in America. You
That's
made
right.
made it weird.
Yeah, there's
You
a
made it
certain
weird.
cachet of
Start
you
with
made
the
it
Adam
weird.
Carolla episode. Go to Kimmel. Keep it in the family.
Yeah, yeah. I had a good time on.
Oh, we
on
had
the
a great time.
podcast.
You always talked. I always admired how you're like, because I think about you when I'm kind of getting like, fuck, this is hard. And I think about you going like, I've dug ditches. I was on a chain gang in Louisiana moving rocks.
That's right.
Mirrored sunglasses, lit cigarette, big brimmed hat guy
That's
watching
right.
me with
Boss
a bat.
man on a horse.
That's right.
Gonna go see Miss Liza.
And you said,
Gonna go to Mississippi. That's what we would sing. Gonna go see Miss Liza. Gonna go to Mississippi. And the big boss man's up there just pumping his shotgun.
Of course. To the beat, I hope.
Gonna go see Miss Liza. Gonna go to Mississippi. That's what my life was like.
But I think of you, you go, I talk. I think about it all the time, actually. I go, how hard can it be? You talk.
Yes.
We talked about they pay me for the emotional vulnerability, the hangover. Sometimes I go back to my hotel room and I'm like, why am I telling all these stories about my mom? Just selling out my family. And then I go, that's what the money's for. That's sort of another interpretation. B.B. King said, I do the shows for free. They pay me to travel.
Oh, I remember his famous song. Gonna go see Miss Liza. Gonna go to Mississippi.
You got to shoot one off.
Yeah, you gotta fire one.
And one worker would be killed every time. And they're like, stop doing it.
Yeah.
Or do a slower song because we're not going to make it to sunup. You're
All
working
right.
at night.
Sorry, where were we?
Ma'am, so another theory that you've presented early on in your career that may be coming to fruition is Carmageddon.
What's that?
Carmageddon is a made-up movie I came up with 15 years ago. More, actually. Oh, I was on KLSX, I think.
You're going to be
Dawson
so
Paper
fun.
remembers.
When you're 95 and like
yeah.
fading out, you're going to be like, I think there was a movie I made, Carmageddon. You look out the window. Who was that, Jimmy? Jimmy Kimmel.
No, sorry.
Oh, be chicks. We should be chicks by now. Medic, 50 cc's. We should be chicks by now.
I didn't do. That'll be it. I didn't do Carmageddon. I did Navigating.
Navigating, excuse me, yeah.
Navigating.
Oh, okay. Navigating.
Shall I set the table for you?
In a world.
That's right. Now, this is back when Bruce Willis had his faculties about him.
That was my guy.
But it started off with him and his old Bronco pulling into JPL. And you could see him get out of the car and his coworker, in amongst all the electric cars and all the Priuses and all full plug-in, Teslas and everything. He pulls up in this 60s Bronco, and it's like, pops the hood, it's overheating. The boss guy comes out. Jake, where have you been? Damn it, I overheated again on the 4x4. Would you just get a new car? Just get an electric car. You won't have to worry about this. And there's a call me old-fashioned. But I don't want satellites controlling my navigation and unlocking my doors for me. They laugh and they make fun of him. You know what I mean? But at some point, China, one of their satellites goes rogue, or they send it rogue. And people find themselves in their electric cars, and all of a sudden, doors are locking, air condition turns off, and they can't steer it anymore, and it's heading for the Grand Canyon.
Navigating.
Piles and piles of Teslas and Volts.
If you're late enough, you won't even die.
Yeah, that's right. Thelma and Louise, no drop. Right, land right. And
That's actually
there's
kinda nice.
all these cars just launching, and it could be launching off of bridges, launching off of cliffs. Like
You don't do this in your stand-up? This is ready to go.
Oh no, I've never discussed
Very
it.
funny.
But of course, Bruce, he's old school.
Yeah.
And he's been working at JPL, he's working on satellites, and he's the one who's got to go up there and deprogram this rogue Chinese satellite, which is sending everyone into
in
the
a
ocean.
rocket that has a nav system. But yeah, go on.
That's right. That's right.
Can't take that Bronco.
Nav again.
You know, I've thought about that because I have a Tesla, and I've thought about what if one day Elon Musk just because it can self-drive.
Right.
What if he just goes, "Come to me, my pretties,"
Right.
and it can open my gate.
Like the Wish
summon,
with the monkeys, with
Yeah,
the
exactly.
flying monkeys. He just claps his
Yeah, yeah.
hands and everyone starts turning around and heading toward him.
Yeah. I was in San Francisco and I saw the true self-driving car, meaning the cars that have the on top and cameras everywhere. Let's be real. What you would hope a self-driving car would look like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Tesla's got these little cameras.
It ran
This one's
over
like-
someone in San Francisco.
Oh, did it?
It pinned a woman under it.
Yikes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All I was going to say was that really opens up farting in the car.
Oh, yeah.
But it has to be silent because you're definitely on camera, but you can spread for easy release and just be like, there's your tip.
Right.
And you keep the windows rolled up to savor the flavor. That's why I would take one.
Do you use the self-driving feature a lot?
No. I did when I first got it because I was like, you gotta. And now I almost never do. I'll use it if I do a set, like a late set, and I'm driving back, it's like 11, I'll use it.
I think about you a lot when I use Waze.
Yeah, I hate
Because
Waze.
you hate Waze.
My face is on the Waze garbage bin. In Tel Aviv, I think, is their headquarters. Somebody tore
It's going to be in Baja, actually.
And it will be in Baja. They texted me that my face is on their trash bins because they don't like the bit that I did about them. I fucking hate Waze. I really do.
I love Waze.
Eat shit.
I
because it
cite
fucking
them
sucks.
as a breakthrough for me.
Eat shit.
Why? Tell me why I'm wrong.
No, you'd have to. I give you full permission to play the bit. I couldn't do the bit from memory. It's a lifestyle choice. I think surrendering to traffic, surrendering to your life, surrendering to reality is a very important. It's in the Tao. They say the great way is not difficult for he who has no preferences. So this is the thinking mind made manifest and grotesque. Meaning, in LA, you'll be in a little bit of traffic. And it's like, okay, take a right through a cul-de-sac neighborhood, running over skateboards.
I'm with you.
Disrupting
No, I'm
lemonade
100%
stands,
with you
creating
on this.
fucking weird traffic and all this shit. And then it'll send you to a stop sign across 4 lanes of oncoming traffic. Now I'm ghost white making a suicide left. Why? So I can get to work 10 minutes early? Eat fucking shit. Eat fucking shit. Listen to a podcast, call an old friend, or God fucking help you, just listen to your thoughts and maybe figure some shit out with your dad instead of Indiana Jonesing your way through
I'm going to put this
private
I'm
neighborhood.
putting this into Navageddon.
Put it in Navageddon.
That's the speech.
something Bruce should say.
Bruce would say that.
I'm not insane. Meaning I understand its value. It's just not funny to say that. In the bit, it's not funny to go like, yeah, sometimes.
I don't want to.
But I go, shouldn't it have a medium setting? Why is it always rushing a kidney to the Obama family?
Yeah.
Can't I just say, hey, if it saves me 30, I would put 45 minutes. I ignore my nav all the time. It goes, get off here. I'm like, eat fucking shit. A straight line slow is so much more pleasurable than me. And that's just my style. Some people do hate being with themselves so much they'd rather play Frogger with their lives and save the time. And that's how the bit used to end. My friend Oren, who I love very dearly, he'd always get to the office when we were doing Crashing early, but he looked like he had just seen a ghost. And I was 10 minutes late, and I told everyone what I learned on This American Life. Eat fucking shit. It's not just Waze. Phones are our brains. They just are extensions of our brains. My dad didn't have a smartphone in the 80s, but he was on his phone. He was up there fucking
Using his brain.
thinking about shit. So we need to not only separate ourselves from our phones, we need to learn how to turn off our minds. We need to learn how to be okay with what is. Because as Eckhart Tolle says, how you feel right now is how you feel about your life. So instead of postponing your happiness to when you get to your destination, oh, I'll be happy when I'm at work. How about take the opportunity? Nothing is being asked of you. You're seated. You're listening to music. There's air conditioning. Stop catastrophizing. If all you're doing is going to the grocery store, and take the opportunity. My commute to here today was an hour and a half. I'm listening to yacht rock and deeping into deep awareness and just feeling compassion and love, preparing. That's life. That's your life. The idea of Waze and a lot of these time-saving fucks are taking us away from the opportunity we have to sink and surrender into the happiness that we are instead of this circumstantial happiness that doesn't fucking work. Oh, I'll be happy once I'm doing great on Adam's show. Fuck you. I was happy in traffic, bitch.
You may be reading more into Waze than is necessary.
It's not just Waze. It's
Are you
the whole
rolling
thing.
on K right now?
I am. Look,
I'm asking for the audio.
I'm just saying, you get a microwave, now you cook dinner in 30 seconds.
No,
But what
I
are you
get it.
doing with
Oh,
the extra time?
can I- well-
All this time we've saved, what have you done? Have you watched any sunsets? Have you gazed into your daughter's eyes? Have you just taken a moment to contemplate the infinite mystery that's looking out your fucking eyes? Have you gotten curious about that? Or are you just trying to get home to watch 1/2 more episode of The Office for the 58th time? Eat fucking shit. There's your best of clip. I'll repost that.
Cut it.
I love it. Now, I'll meet you halfway on Waze. Now, here's how I use it prophylactically.
I think I know.
What I do is they go, you got a show Wednesday night at the Irvine Meadows. And I go, what time is the show? And they go, 8 o'clock. And I go, well, I'm coming from La Cañada or I'm coming from Malibu. I have no goddamn idea how long it's going to take me to get to Irvine or whatever. So I just see what the Waze has to say to give me an idea of when I shall be leaving the following day. And then I can sort of plan the following day around that. So I'll use it that way.
I understand that.
And you are 100% correct, and I've brought it up a million times on this program. Anyone who knows Los Angeles knows you can get on the 5 here and then take the 5 to the 110 and the 110 through to the 10 and go to Santa Monica, or you can get off on Chavez Ravine Drive and take Tommy Lasorda Street and go down Vin Scully Way and then Steve Yeager Place and all the Dodge. And next thing you know, you're cutting through the barrio, you're driving through scary neighborhoods, there's weird traffic, you don't want anything. That is technically the fastest way to get to where you're going.
Yeah.
I will happily give up another 5 to 7 minutes sitting in traffic if that means I can just go in a straight line. And all I want is a setting that says you can get off and we're going to take you through an AIDS hospice, but we're going to shave 41 seconds off your commute, where I go, it's not worth the 41 seconds.
Yeah.
If it's 20 minutes, I'll think about it. If it's 5 minutes, I'm just going to stay on the 5 and hit the 110 and not think about it.
You're with it.
That's the way I think.
Jim Norton has a joke where he goes, I wish my GPS knew my race. it's his joke. I can't stand by that. But he's saying that he gets in uncomfortable places or whatever. That hasn't been my issue. But like I don't use it. But of course, we did this monologue on the Pete Holmes show that I was really proud of. It's still on YouTube, I think. But we tried to show, it was like fuck cats. We did this monologue, fuck cats. Dogs are the best. And then halfway through the monologue, I was like, fuck dogs, cats are the best. And the point was, and it's obvious, comedy, and this is something to appreciate when you're watching Chappelle say something crazy. Comedy, one of the devices of comedy is like, yeah, life is really complicated. It's like what we were reading in your books. Let's move everything aside and just delight in this absurdity that I'm going to take this hard line on Waze. But to not ruin the joke, but of course, I'm a human being. I'm like, what a miracle. If we were all, I understand the other side. If we were all using it, and I'm sure this is what they're talking about in Tel Aviv as they're throwing banana peels at my face.
Right.
If everybody used it, we could control all the traffic. There would be no more traffic. That's incredible. And guess who'll benefit? The guy who was shitting on Waze. Absolutely. But that's less funny than saying fuck dogs.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Even though I know dog. I get dogs.
No, I was doing shows in Tacoma, had a 6:25 a.m. flight out of the Tacoma airport, sitting in the backstage of the comedy club. I was like, I want to know how long it's going to take to get to the airport tomorrow, because we're either going to leave at 5 a.m. or we're going to leave at 4:30 a.m. or whatever it is. That, to me, is the miracle of Waze.
It is, and I completely agree with that. The problem is we're all living as if what's coming to us is later. And I think we've lost some of that wisdom. I was in Mexico with my wife this past week, and it's like
Do you see that Jewish settlement I started
I
up?
did. It was really nice, actually.
Yeah,
they
thank
said
you.
there's a river. Mm-hmm. It's the same temperature.
That's right. But they got sports fishing there.
And there were leather-bound books of in 50 years we'll all be chicks.
Oh, they're finally paying
They were
homage.
opening up.
Oh,
It was
nice.
beautiful. But like, this has happened to me countless times. You're delayed on the tarmac 10 minutes or something. And it's like, you see, and I sympathize, I understand. People get really mad, especially when they're on their way to vacation.
Oh, fuck those people.
I'm with you.
I'm with you. The technology of getting from here to Mexico
Is
or
incredible.
there to New
It's
York or
incredible.
Chicago and back, and they just said there's going to be a 20-minute delay. People that used to die
Yeah.
in
you're-
Donner passes.
It would be a
and-
different group. Louis,
Yeah,
didn't Louis say that? It would be a different group by the time you got to California.
Yes.
Different generation made it.
It'd be less people,
Yes.
and then a few would be born along the way,
that's
right? So,
but that's a head solution. The heart solution is to say it's much easier. That's the extension of effort. Like saying, instead of extending, Rupert Spira would say, instead of extending our attention like a rubber band away from the delay and further towards gratitude, that's one way. Or you can just let the rubber band of your awareness recede into itself and be on vacation now.
yeah,
Right
no,
now. Without thinking about, I should be happy, just ask yourself about the quality of your awareness when you turn those thoughts down and you ask yourself, this field within which everything appears, is it happy? Is it peaceful? Is it joyful? Can it be hurt? Was it ever created? Does it ever die? Then you're on vacation on the plane. Cut to me fucking throwing a tomato juice at a stewardess, and then you supercut it with this clip. Do you know who I am?
I would say there's stuff you can control and stuff you can't control. And the second you can't control something, you just have to let it go.
We're very similar
You're
to
not an
that.
airplane mechanic. You don't work for Delta. It's 20
Well, Delta,
minutes
I
or
mean-
it's 40 minutes or it's an hour and a half. It's whatever it is. There's no part of that you can control. So
Thanks.
go to the bar and have a drink.
Completely agree. You're just being asked to sit in a chair. I understand. I've been late for flights when it's my daughter, some special thing for my daughter, and I get more worked up. In the same way that I would use Waze if I had to take my wife to the hospital for a baby or something. But
Who knocked her up?
I don't know.
We got to figure that one out.
But the Delta, I've said this before, but I wonder if I can make it make sense this time. Delta doesn't really exist. Delta is a pattern of data. You can say that they have more delayed flights, but right now your flight is delayed because it hit a goose and they have to clean off the blood. That just happened to me.
Really?
And you can get mad at Delta. This is why I think it's so funny that we're so symbolic. We're metaphor makers all the time.
You
Obviously-
hit a goose like a bird strike, Captain Sully
it did coming
kind of
in.
thing?
It did coming in on the nose, yeah.
Oh, on the nose, didn't get sucked into the inlet of the jet. Wow.
And if it did, you got another one. But yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
saying that for everyone listening on an airplane right now. But like, Delta is an abstraction. It's an idea because it's like what I say about God. God is the name of Barry Taylor said this. It's the name of the blanket we put over the mystery to give it a shape. Delta is the name of the blanket we put over a conglomerate of airplanes and mechanics and employees. But right now there's a woman at the desk who doesn't work on the plane and you're screaming at her and talking about Delta. And I'm over here like, you think it's cute that I believe in God. I think it's pretty cute you believe in Delta. Like you think Delta exists. Right now there's that plane and it has goose blood on it. And you're yelling at this woman because you want to shake your fist at mighty Delta. It's like, that's cute.
Yeah.
I thought you went to college. They told us Delta doesn't exist and we smoke a J and there's a lava lamp. I'm just saying we're meaning-making things and that's okay. There's other times where it's incredibly helpful. Stock exchange, all that stuff, commerce, to have a thing called Delta. But to get mad at Delta, I don't know.
I agree.
Doesn't make me happy.
See,
This guy and I are vibing.
Byron. Once again,
Sorry, Byron and
I like the direction you're heading.
Yeah.
We'll just stop, though, right here.
We're going to pull in Austin.
Don't keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do
This
you
is
mean?
good. This is a good space for you.
This is nice. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're calling back that.
The old Pete Holmes.
Yeah. No, we're going to stop it at Austin.
Yeah, stop at Austin.
Yeah.
Don't become Portland.
No, I
Stop
understand.
at Austin. Or
I actually, you know what's
You'll
interesting?
become Chop Zone at some point.
Believe it or not, I think about that. I have enough of a commercial and a capitalistic and an entrepreneurial. I say my ego is Daniel Plainview. I call it my Plainview. I go, my Plainview got a little out of control. If I say I'm an oil man, you will agree. Like I have that in me. So I keep eyes on Pete.
Okay.
This is you're talking to Pete. There's a Plainview and then there's the other guys. And we keep it all tight.
I'm just saying, let's just lock it down right here.
Lock it down right here.
I love you, Pete Holmes.
I love you guys. Thank you also, one last time. Just getting the word out means a lot. These specials,
it's a great special.
when you're throwing a coin in the Scrooge McDuck vault and going, I hope people find that coin. When I can count on this show to get in touch and have me on, it means a lot. So thanks for letting me promote.
Well, thanks for coming out and being so
Thanks for
entertaining.
making the hour and a half journey.
I'm going to be in Sacramento at the Punchline, but only one show's not sold out, so that would be Friday late, so they say. So that'll be it. Then Fargo at the Fargo Theater, doing the stand-up there. That'll be November 30th. And then Nashville, Zanies, and that'll be December 1st.
Look
and
on the
2nd.
wall. I hit my head on that wall.
Going onto the stage?
In the green room, I signed where the wall is dented or bloodied.
Oh, really?
Because it's embarrassing. I was doing a little dance to get psyched, and I threw my head back, and I hit my head on the wall, and it was bleeding, and they were like, you need stitches, and I went on, and there was like a clump of blood in my hair. So there's I wrote it all on the wall because I was losing my mind.
I'll look for it.
Yeah.
December 1st and 2nd, 4 shows, Huntsville, it's all there. And go to Pete's website, PeteHolmes.com.
Baby.
You can find out where he's going to be. And until next time, it's Adam Carolla for Pete Holmes, Chris Laxamana saying mahalo.